Today, finding gold nuggets on my dream claim with a machine operation. Woohoo! Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome! I hope you're in your subscription today. I'm here on my dream claim. I'm finishing off what we started in the fall. My dad and I started a machine operation trying to find gold nuggets for the Mr. Beast challenge, but we had to run away because winter was going to freeze us out. I've come back to finish off the operation, clean up our mess, and find some of those gold nuggets. So wish me luck, and I hope you enjoy. I'm down at the river here, setting up my water pumps and hoses and stuff, when I found something dreadful. See that rock right there? I was in here a week ago scouting out, and that rock was not there. See how jagged and sharp it is compared to the river run rocks all around it? That rock right there, in the last week, fell from up there somewhere and landed basically where I'm standing right now. Oh, that would scare me. I see another one back here, which is probably a piece off of the same rock. That guy and that guy were not here a week ago when I was in scouting. Actually, there's even a bigger one. Can I get over here without getting wet feet? Woohoo! Maybe 1, 2, 3, jump! That guy there, he wasn't here either. Nor that one. There was a bit of a landslide that came down here, or a rock slide. Threw some rocks down at me. Luckily, I wasn't here at the time, but sometime in the last week. Woohoo! There's an old story about this claim. The miners that were mining back in the 80s were camped just up where I'm mining right now. And overnight they started to hear a rumble, then a big rumble, then a huge rumble. And while they were sleeping, that whole mountain came down. You see this big slide here? It came down, crossed the river, blocked the river. Actually, there was no water flowing down below, but that's a miner's dream, having a river with no water flowing in it. But having such an unstable mountain that came so close to their camp, because it actually came up the other side, scared them, and they just said, screw it, I'm out of here. Packed up and left. But yeah, that whole mountainside, that great big slide came down while there were miners here. I don't like staying down here too long in the spring, because things like that happen. And actually a week ago when I was panning here, there was also a landslide way upriver. While I was panning, a huge dust cloud came down the river and blocked out the sun. Well, it's cloudy, but you can see there's dust everywhere in the air. And that was just another landslide. This deep, deep canyon just happens. What a beautiful spring day. Now, I still have to bring the Bobcat down. I just brought the truck down with all the gear, and then I'll drive back up and drive the Bobcat down. Unfortunately, I can't take the trailer that takes the Bobcat down the road. So it's one or the other. But what I've been doing so far is setting up my little passive wash plant, getting it ready for a day's run on the claim. This cute little thing is just basically a glorified high banker. It's just a great big hopper that the Bobcat can dump into. It's got grizzly bars to take the material down to 1 inch minus. Into a sluice that's running gold hog mats on top, a little bit of gold hog mats on the bottom, and then expanded over minus moss below that. The wash plant can run 1 or 2 pumps. Today we're just gonna be running 1 pump because I'm by myself, means I'm gonna be processing slowly, and it's just less work setting up only 1 pump. And this claim here is known for its big, chunky, nuggety gold and no fine gold at all. So I have the sluice set up for catching nuggets. There's 2 bars going across at the top, making 2 zones that we call the nugget zones, or the nugget catch, where the nugget should fall out between or above one of those 2 bars. We then have a very, very aggressive gold hog mat. I think they call this the scrubber mat, going all the way down because it leaves big gaps behind each riffle for the nuggets or the pickers to fall into. After that, we get into a more of a low profile mat as it widens out, and then onto the expanded steel on miner's moss. Honestly, we get next to no gold down here, like almost nothing. I think in our runs last fall, we had 1 or 2 flakes and that was it. Everything was caught way up top because everything here is big and chunky. This beast has seen some work, seen some days. We have modified this, fixed this, adjusted this, changed it so many times over. It is crazy, but we got it all dialed in quite nicely last year. And I think it's just gonna be a case of firing up the water and going. And the plan here for today is run those 2 piles of pay. I just piled those up last year. I dug and cleared bedrock. Yeah, that's a clay bedrock. It's bedrock that's decomposed. I cleared a whole big area of it, piled it right there. We're gonna just take that and dump it through the plant. I'm going to also take the Bobcat and scrape up anything that we dropped. This was all good pay last year, so I'm gonna scrape it all up, put it through the plant. This little pile right here, this is the stuff that fell off my bucket of my excavator as I was swinging around to put in the plant last year. So we're gonna take the Bobcat, scoop that up, put it through the plant. Gonna take everything that's ready to go through the plant. Then I'm gonna take the Bobcat, flatten off, contour, level things off, and make this place look nice again. A little disappointed. Someone came down here and ripped down all my caution tape between when I was here last week and now. I don't know why they would rip down the caution tape. It's a safety thing, but oh well. I'm gonna be cleaning things up today and we won't need it moving forward. And apparently whoever it was that ripped down the caution tape is a smoker. People. Well, it's time to grab that Bobcat, get down there and get digging. Let's find that gold. First job complete. I needed to make a berm between the pit. Even though the pit's only about 2 feet deep, it would be enough to mess up the Bobcat for sure. So I made a berm between the road and the pit so that I can come through here safely with the Bobcat and not run the risk of falling into the pit. While I was making the road through there, I dumped a bunch of material into the hopper. I'm gonna go turn on the water and get that stuff processing while I continue making the road and the ramp up for dumping. And it's a processing. Every once in a while I'll have to get off and take the bigger rocks away because they will get jammed. But as I dump more on, the material will still get through the bigger rocks and go through. It's just every once in a while I'll have to clean it. Now I'm gonna be able to dig far faster than this machine can actually process gravel. This thing processes about 1 yard per hour, which is really slow. But it gives me lots of time between me filling up the hopper to either come over here and move rocks and stuff, or take the Bobcat and start smoothing off and reclamating the site. Should be an easy going day because I have to wait for the machine. I can push it, I can speed it up, but that pushes a lot of gravel through the height or through the sluice real fast and overloads it. So it's best if I just let it do its thing. With the odd clear of rocks. Yes, nowhere near as good as a trommel would be. So it's looking like I have to stop and clear every scoop. One scoop of the Bobcat fills the hopper, basically completely. And when I first put the scoop in, it actually gives me quite an overload on the grizzly, blocks the grizzly, and water starts going where it's not supposed to. So it looks like one dump, get out, get the machine running properly again, then go and get another dump. It does take 10-15 minutes to process one scoop, and that is a 1/4 yard roughly in a scoop. well, water just stopped. I guess that's my first tank of gas gone. Let's go fill her up. And we're up and running again. I have a funny problem with my fuel situation. I'll show you next time I go down to fill up the pump. It's a problem, but it's also funny. Anyhow, let's get processing. The system does feed on its own, but I get to be a little bit, you know, impatient at times and think, let's push it through. Well, time for another scoop. That initial dump always overloads the system. I gotta jump out and get things running properly again right away afterwards. And now we wait. So the tailings pond that I'm using here, or the settling pond I should say, is an old placer pit that was dug illegally back in the day. Some old timers were here digging and they didn't take out the correct permits to dig a pit like this. And the story goes that they were found out to be digging here where they weren't supposed to be. They were told to stop and they just basically walked away from it. So they just left a great big open pit. Now, when I took over the site, I asked the ministry about this pit. And they said because it has regrown in, that it's basically the new natural of the landscape and they want it just left as a pit. But I can discharge into it, slowly filling it up, and it's just slowly sort of naturally reclaiming it from what wasn't supposed to be done back in the 70s or 80s or whenever it was that they did this. And it makes a great tailings facility. And luckily with all the greenery growing in it, that's loving my water that I'm giving it, it's gonna just thrive as I use it like this. Now, while we wait for the machine to process that last load, this area here, when we were doing hand tests originally, Mike, Pete, and I, we were coming out with about 2 grams per yard. That is very significant gold. That is really, really good gold for a placer operation. But as a hand operation, you're always sort of digging the high grade spots and you tend to skew your results to the high side doing a hand operation. So when I did our first machine operation down here with Dad back in the fall, our grades came out to just over 1 gram a yard when we're running through everything. Not topsoil, but you know, the overburden material that doesn't look good, down to the boulder layer, down to the bedrock layer. Running it all came out to about 1 gram per yard. I've put just over 1 yard through the machine right now, so there should probably be 1 gram of gold in there. That being said, that pay pile came from this side here, which I don't think is as good of ground as that side there. See those big boulders? That means that's river run stuff. Over here, I saw a lot more slough type material, though we did clear a big area of bedrock. So we'll see. There's quite possibly 3 to 4 to 5 grams of gold sitting there and hopefully ending up in there. Let's hope. Uh-oh, gotta go clear the grizzly. And that would be scoop 10. Here we go again. Water pump's out again. I'll dump this, then go fill up. Apparently I've run out of fuel in the pump again. Had to just dump that into the hopper. Once the water starts going, it'll flush through again. Definitely ran out sort of mid-process, because look at all the material in the box. Can't even look for gold. But anyhow, I said something funny happened with my fuel. Remember where I have my diesel cans there, okay? I had a gas can there as well. Let me run down to the water and show you what happened. So here's the fuel can the gas can I used to fill the pump. And when I got here this morning, I had gas in the pump, so I just started running it. But when I went to fill it up the first time, I went to grab my gas can, and it wasn't where I thought I had left it. I thought I left it behind the sign, but it was sort of over in the side of the road, which was odd. But I brought it down here, I started filling up the pump, and it started to leak. My can started to leak. So I had a good look at it. Some animal had a go at my can last night. That's why it was moved from where I thought it was. There's teeth marks all through this corner. Some animal started gnawing on it, probably got a mouthful of gas and left. Luckily, they left it in the upright position, because if it was on its side, I would have lost all of my fuel. As it was, it leaked out to that point, which means I only have half a can to run today. I probably only have 2 more fill-ups before I have to actually either go back to town and fill it or call it done. Now, luckily, where the gas can is way up, long ways away from the river, any fuel that leaked would have just evaporated and not contaminated anything. That's a good thing. But kind of funny, some animal got at my gas. Anyhow, time to fill her up. Well, that's not good. That filled that, and there's probably about a 1/4 tank left in the can. Uh-oh. And here we go again. Now the gas can was over here, and any that leaked out, luckily gasoline evaporates. Unlike diesel or oil, which would just sink into the ground, diesel evaporates, so not much of a problem because I lost a little bit of gasoline right there. And we are a very, very long ways away from the river. One thing I do to mitigate the overloading of the sluice box is I try to load up my bucket so that it's mostly on this side here, and that side's kind of empty. That way when I dump it, most everything gets put at the top for slow feeding through. Not much put at the very bottom, which surges through and fills the sluice. Looking good. Let's put another load in. There's definitely a lot of hurry up and wait with this system. Wait, wait, wait. I could probably process 4 to 5 times as much if I had a faster wash plant. The Bobcat is just sitting idle most of the time. Oh, that's really not good. I just ran out of fuel again, which means I only have maybe half an hour of running left before I'm out of gas. And to get more gas, well, my tank has a hole in it. But also, it means me walking up to my truck at the top of the hill, driving into town, getting more fuel, driving back, walking down again, because I drove the Bobcat down. I've got through almost all I wanted to get through today. Maybe a yard left. I might just call it, finish washing what's in the box, and then let's see if we've got any nuggets. That's the plan. Well, I was able to almost fill the tank one more time with what was left in that gas can. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one more scoop on top of what's in there. Then we'll run through basically half a yard with that last tank of gas. We'll make sure that we clean out the system completely before I run out of gas in the pump this last time. Then we'll clean it up, find our nuggets. Well, I see a picker in the box. Let's get the close-up on that. Ha-ha! Well, there's at least one picker. Any nuggets should be up in the 2 nugget catches at the top, but a picker made it down below. Let's hope there's a lot. Let's see how big it is. Oh, it's a nice picker. I think I'm gonna pick that one out. And that's not even my pinky finger. Now, if you're unfamiliar with my dream claim, the gold here is all big. Big flakes, big nuggets, big everything. We don't have much fine gold. So I'm not too worried about the fine stuff because it doesn't add up to anything compared to the big. Well, I'm happy to say I did not get skunked today. Let's hope there's more than a 0.1 picker. That was actually probably 0.2. Okay, 1 picker in the box. I'm gonna poke through a little bit more just to see if I can see any more because I got time and I like doing that. The nuggets should all be up in there. Oh, let's hope we have some nuggets up in there. Let's hope. And there's another. Now this is halfway down the top box, where before the nuggets were all falling out up there. I really ran this box badly today. I was surging it so many times by overloading it. I was overloading it time after time. And that's why a long box is nice. Even though I was overloading it and running it badly, and the nugget traveled, it only traveled down that far. Let's get out the close-up again. So piece number 2 looks to be a small nugget. Oh, is that another one I see? Oh, I'm not sure. Nope, it's not. Anyhow, let's get that out of there. There we be. Basically just a thick picker. When they have a significant thickness compared to their size, I like calling them nuggets. Makes me feel good about myself. There, on my pinky. Makes it look bigger. Ew, my hands have been in water all day. Yuck. At least 2 pieces in the bottle. And another. This is just a picker though. Just a picker, not a nugget. Oh, I see a small flake as well. Hey, 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 we're finding gold. How exciting. As far as pickers go, that's a pretty small one. Well, that's all I see from poking around the open riffles. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by cleaning out the expanded steel on miner's moss, panning that out, the gold hog in the bottom section, and then do the top section. Any big gold will be up there. Okay, let's see what's in the miner's moss. I think it's all cleaned out. That's pretty clean. I'll pan that down and show you what's in the bottom. One real nice thing about this claim is there is almost no black sand. The black sand is basically non-existent. And when you're using miner's moss, you usually get a ton of the stuff. Now, I will have some here because, well, it's not non-existent, it's just very low. And miner's moss is really good at catching black sand. But it's gonna be a very, very small amount. If this was the Fraser River, this pan would be full of black right now. I'm sure there's at least 1 flake that made it through in one of those big surges. We'll see something here. I had a couple of really nasty surges go through. Okay, that's enough to see what we've got. Let's go have a look. Okay, anything for gold. Whoa, look at that. Lots of shotgun pellets. There's a 1 flake. I said 1 flake would make it through. I was right. 1 flake made it through. I sometimes wonder if it's even worth running that bottom section to this sluice, if that's all I get from there. That is 1 small flake that would have made it through. Oh well, gold is gold. It gets added. And a bunch of shotgun pellets. Steel shotgun pellets, not lead. Okay, let's see what the gold hog mats in the bottom sluice had. See if any of my surges pushed any of the bigger pieces of gold over the bottom edge. That matting is so amazing at catching gold. If anything did get through in one of the surges, I assume it's going to be in the gold hog mats. I'll have to also clean out the sluice afterwards. There's a lot of material that made it down beside the mats. Any nuggets in here? Let's find out. My bin is already filling up. I need more water. I'm gonna need both hands to pan in this shallow water right now. I'll show you at the end. Getting near the end. I assume there'll be a couple of flakes in this one. Let's take out some rocks. Make sure they're not nuggets. This is a nugget claim. It is possible to have nuggets in here. It'd be nice if I had nuggets in here. So I'm thinking 2 to 3 flakes made it through in surges. I think all the nuggets and pickers will still be up top. Oh, there we go. A nugget made it through. Look at that. Nice. It's nugget time. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing what's in the nugget catch. Such fresh gold at this claim. It has not traveled far. And nothing else. Not even flakes in there. So that means the top mats were doing their job. 1 flake and 1 nugget made it through in the surges, and that's it. Everything else is in the top mats. Cleaned out the lower sluice. There was nothing beside or underneath the mats. Clear. And now for the upper sluice. Do I pick around in the nugget catch, or do I just pan it out? Of course I pick around some. Let's have a look. I saw 2 small pieces in there, no nuggets yet. I only picked through a little bit, but I think it's a little bit too deep, too much to actually go through. So in the pan she goes. If there's nuggets in there, it'll come out in the wash. So I just saw 1 piece go in. What I decided to do is I'm gonna take it all, put it in the pan it out, and let you see everything in one good reveal. Oh, I'm happy, I'm excited. Well, I think for the material from the upper mats, we're gonna go down to the creek to pan that out in some fresh, clean water. I saw at least 1 nugget go in. I saw something else that could have been. So I'm hoping 2 nice nuggets. Or I'm hoping 10 nice nuggets, but I think I saw 2 go in. So what do we have? 4 pieces down past the upper sluice? No, 2 pieces past the upper sluice. We found 4 pieces just by looking in the box. 2 of those were in the upper sluice. They're already in my stuffer bottle. Oh, I should put it all in, make it really good. No, let's see what was in the nugget catch. Now, I don't think there's any like 1 ounce nuggets in here, anything like that. Those I would have seen for sure. Of course, I came down for clean water and then I started panning in the stagnant pool that doesn't have flowing water. Go figure. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. I'll be really disappointed if there's nothing here. It was basically half a day running. It's just past noon now. I've got lots of cleanup to do. Gotta do a whole bunch of reclamation, so I'll be here until dark probably, cleaning up. But half a day running, probably put through 3 yards. I'm guessing that was 3 yards I went through today. So if we go with, you know, an average of 1 gram per yard, I should have 3 grams of gold. Now, I've already pulled out probably 1 gram. This place is pockety. You are either on it or you're not. There's no middle ground. So either there's a lot of gold in here or there's not gonna be much. Already getting ready for failure. No, I did see at least 1, if not 2, go in. I'd say we're there. Time for the reveal. Oh, where's this camera? Is this camera on it? There we go. Camera's on it. What do we have? I don't see any. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, baby. Yes. 4. That's probably a 2 gram nugget. That's probably 1.5 grams. Those are probably 1 gram each. Oh, and then look at all the little stuff. There's another one. Oh, baby. Now that makes the day worthwhile. I like that. Now that's some nice nuggety gold. And again, if you see how much small stuff is in there compared to the nugget, there's 10 times more nugget than there is small. Probably 100 times more nugget weight than there is small stuff. That's just this claim. Let's throw the other ones in on top of it. There's the 4 from earlier. And there's the nuggets from the nugget trap. I'm guessing 6 to 8 grams of gold today, and I'm guessing I ran 3 yards of material. Nice. That's probably the biggest of the day. I'm guessing now that's 1.5 grams. And that one's pretty big too. I'd say that's about 1.5 grams as well. That's a cute little one. And you don't see too many flakes at this site, but every once in a while they get pounded down flat into a flake, probably from a different source farther upriver. Well, that's exciting. Loving it. What a beautiful river. Now, of course, I will be taking those home, cleaning them up, weighing them, and showing you a total here at the end of the video. But for me now, here at the claim, I have a few hours, many hours, of reclamation and cleanup to do to bring this site back to a good looking spot. So that's what I'm doing till dark. But here's the totals for the day. And how did we do for the day? We came out to 4.5 grams. And I think we moved about 3 yards of material. So again, just over 1 gram a yard. Well, I guess that'd be 1.5 grams a yard. Not bad. Chunky, chunky. Dream Claim Gold. Look at the difference in color between the flakes and the nuggets. Gotta be 2 different sources. Very cool. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me that thumbs up. I hope I earned your subscription today. Have a great day, everyone. And until the next one,